Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to qualifying here in China, and we got a little bit of surprise for y'all watching today. It's raining. Yes, it is going to be a very wet and wild race today here in the F1 Rapid Racers League. China, very known for being hard to control and all that jazz, especially in the wet. So we're going to be seeing a action-packed qualifying session from everyone today. As Ava is coming out on his hot lap, he has a very audible visual audio glitch going on right now. So we will see on how that plans out for him, as I totally just did not tab out of the game. So we join back qualifying session. Ava driving for Renault as he gets really loose on those curbs. The wet weather already playing a factor. He is on the mediums. We may see some wet tires pop out later in the session if the track conditions are not up to par. Shout out to Carrie G in the chat. Forza Tolga, as he's cheering for Tolga, who is just now coming out of the pits. As Girex driving for Mercedes, we spoke to him earlier. Mercedes has been dominant most of this year. Can they make it a three-peat? As Girex is just driving around the little carousel, as they like to call it, before the very long back straight that China is famous for. But let's go to someone that we all know. It's Velase Formula Danny. Formula Danny, it's got that audio pick glitch. So that's going to be a little music to your ears. By music, I mean ow, 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 ow. Well, there's Danny. He just recently came back from London for racing for Mercedes AMG Petronas and got, I believe, 3 consecutive podium finishes. And the official F1 Esports Series. So huge congratulations to Formula Danny as he's taking us a lap around China. China, very interesting layout with the whole, there's a lot of screaming going on in the other thing, but that first turn, very confusing, very long. It's a long right-hander followed by a long left-hander. They're both hairpins. Actually, it's a 270-degree turn, I believe. And then the entire second sector is a bunch of sweeping corners. And then going to the third sector is another long carousel turn, followed by the longest straight I've ever seen, and a heavy brake zone going into a hairpin. As we see Formula Danny getting really loose, coming out of that turn, hard on the brakes, onto the left, going to the right, through the carousel. Look at him working that wheel, trying to keep his car in line, right on the curves. You don't want to be riding on the curves too much right there, because your car will shoot off to the right and maybe into the wall, as there's no DRS open right now, as he's heading down the back straight. Because it's raining, no DRS, hard on the brakes, trying not to lock up the brakes as Ava sets the first lap today of a 1:45.992. Let's see where that puts everyone else. Girex sets new pole, but Formula Danny sets a new pole of a 1:42.686. As Alan T comes in second with a 1:43.643. So we got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That maybe just be someone. Oh no, that's actually Toe6. Toe6, what has happened to you? Looks like he got a little bit loose, slammed into the wall, and that's disastrous qualifying for him. He's gonna have to make another lap around the track before he can even attempt another qualifying lap. Look at that front wing. It's just ripped off right at the finish line of his lap. He was set a 156 by that, so I don't know what it's gonna do, but some idiot in the Force India sets a 143.974 with 2.2.444.444 in third, driving for Haas. Great lap from 2.2.444.444 as Jan Feller sets a 143.574, sitting him in second place. Great showing from the McLaren driver in that first scouting laps. As you can see, as we are going to go on board with Assassin. He comes across the line. That will set him up into 6th with 144.074, but currently it's just Formula Danny at the top, just sitting up there comfortably, you know, a second ahead of everybody else. Seriously, 0.888 seconds as he's heading into the pits. But if we look behind him, that'll be Alan T. Thinking he could go better and up his time, and he hops into third. As Girex actually went 0.333 behind Danny as his teammate went into the pits. He went out for another lap. Track evolution and wet times, they get better as you go on. So everyone who's on 2 laps will probably have a better times. Ipony jumped up to 5th place right now. Great lap from Ipony, sitting in 5th. As everyone's probably going to the pits. Formula Danny's in the pits. Other people are in the pits. Someone who is, I don't know, is coming through the pits. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. That's Tolga. He's going to go for another lap. So we saw McLaren of Jan Feller, but Tolga jumps into 4th place. Great showing from the Haas driver. Where's Tosix? Yeah, Tosix finally got into the pits. Path coming around for his first lap. Comes across the line as he starts his flying lap. Path not having the best of seasons so far, looking for a better chance throughout the season. It is a full season, so everything is not all set in stone after it, but remember, times do change. Let's go on board with Alan T. Yes, Alan is heading into the pits with 9 minutes to go. How is the Red Bull of Merrick doing? Running 4th gear, drops down to 3rd around this double left-hander. 2 turns, but it's treated as 1. See, just got stuck with that little glitch right now. He's currently down on his Sector 2 time. This may be 4th time right now, but those 2-lap tires are worn, so he might have to go into the pits. Probably will do. But Merrick sitting 4th right now. Very happy with his position, as his other Red Bull teammate cannot make it this week. As 2.2.444 goes into 3rd after a blistering lap, setting him into 3rd right now. But look at the separation, 0.01 from 2nd and 3rd. That is very close between those two. And then we got Merrick 143.064, and it's just a 143 show all right now, but Danny's the only one sitting in a 142, but Fulton jumps up into 2nd, but he's in the pits. So Fulton having some weird connection issue. His name is Sergen. I know, but it's kind of fun to say 2.2.4444444. So let's go on board with Formula A to see if he can improve on his time in any way. As we still have that audio issue. Let's try to fix that right now, actually. There we go. I finally figured out how to do it. But Photon has broken the 142 mark in the pits. I don't know how he did that. I don't know when he did that, but I just saw his name pop up there. So, great lap by Photon. As Formula Danny is currently driving a Storm heading into Sector 3. Just looking on pace. May go for a double lap stint like most of these drivers. Some idiot, surprisingly, on 4 laps, sitting down in 12th. Everyone's starting on fresh tires if this is going to be a dry race, so look out for that. Hard on the brakes for Formula Danny, going extremely wide, but keeping this car in control. A little bit of sliding in the rear, but making it look nice as he comes across the curbs, rides them. Hopefully did not get his time invalidated, and he improves his time, setting a 1:42.541. Great lap from Formula Danny. As there's Photon. There's a mysterious Ferrari driver. He's going really slow in Sector 2. That's what's bringing out the yellow flags. Let's see how Tosix is doing. He just came across the line to start his flying lap. Hopefully that doesn't end in disaster for him in the last corner. He's got 6 minutes left to put a time on the board. Candy's got more yellow flags. Tosix's back end getting really loose. Yeah, Tosix set a lap. It was a 1:44.786 from his 1:56 time. But Toga getting extremely loose. Coming out of that hairpin, very anxious on the throttle. Just hear that gearbox sputtering as that glitch is going on. As Alan T also has that little same problem. But he is coming on strong right now. So he's warming up his tires, ready to go on his flying lap. Just came out of the pits and is currently on his out lap. Almost drifting it around the carousel right now. This carousel really long, really hard to keep your car in the zone and off the curbs. Remember, if you get your car on the curbs, it's kind of disastrous and will shoot your car off to the side. So we see Footman making his way through the opening 2 turns as he comes out of the pits, and I believe on his flying lap, I'm not sure though, it still says 0 laps on his tires. Let's go to McLaren driver Jan Feller in this qualifying session. Jan was up there in 4th place earlier, but as time went on, both times fell as Alan T sits in 2nd place. After a great lap, sitting 1:42.7, just 0.2 seconds off of Formula Danny, and 0.1 seconds off of his teammate, 0.109 to be exact. Speaking of Photon, he's working his way through Sector 3 right now. Carousel turn, very treacherous. We might see that come into play. I do not know if it's going to rain during the race. If it does, it's going to be a very action-packed race. And if it's going to be dry, it's also going to be very action-packed as Fulton going really slow, braking extremely early. I may have a bit of lockup as Feller sits in 3rd. Does Fulton have the pace to answer? It comes across the final turn and across the line. Where does that sit, Fulton? No improvement, 0.087, just cutting the edge of his time, but Feller, with 3 minutes to go, takes 3rd for McLaren. Great lap by Feller here in the rain. Let's see how Sergen is doing on his out lap. So they're coming around the carousel right now. Hard on the throttle. No DRS available right now. We have a very clean look at the back of the Haas cars. He gets hard on the brakes. I really wish the game would give me another angle. Thank you. This goes on the throttle. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. I will check in on that shortly. But Surgen, loosely coming across the final corners, dives down the inside and sits in third. Six. What was I thinking? Third. But Surgen sits in sixth place after a 1:43.029, almost breaking the 1:42 barrier and joining fourth, third, second, and first. Speaking of Formula, Danny in first. Believe he is, yes, he is on his outlap right now. It's a slow outlap for Danny. Just getting those. Oh my goodness, we have a new pole sitter with 1:47 to go. It's ACR Jan Feller. The 1:42.471. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a fight for first. And it's gearing up in qualifying. Sector 2 and 3 is having a bit of yellow flags right now. If someone's not happy with their lap, they will start to retire. So that's what you're going to see with all the yellow flags popping up and cars retiring. The pressure's on for Formula Danny. Can he answer Feller's challenge on those fresh intermediates with 1 minute to go? I believe he will have another chance to go on for another lap if he wants to. But Formula Danny gets overtaken by Alan T. He did drop down to the second row as Alan goes extremely wide, but Alan T sits in second with 1:42.535. Formula Danny, what can he do? It's all up to you. As he comes across Sector 3 around the carousel. Hard on the throttle, but not too hard. Gotta feather it, gotta keep it in line. Do not run high on those curbs. As Merrick sits up to fourth. Formula Danny heavy on the back straight. Hard on the brakes, going around the hairpin. I believe he is on pace for pole. But anything can happen in the last few corners. Across the final corner. And across the line. Formula Danny, a 1:41.682. Snatching pole position as time runs out. Fulton finishes in fifth. Feller, believe, going on for another lap. Actually, I don't think so. Alan T. He's just cruising on for an in lap right now. How is Merrick feeling right now? Merrick on pace for a quick lap. As we see one of the Alfa Romeos, I believe that was Assassin, diving down to the inside. As Monster just came across the line in 10th. But oh my goodness, that is Merrick spinning in the carousel. Almost a collision with Assassin, but he is sitting on the apron. That is not where he wants to be. That is not where anyone wants him to be. Because if he's right there, that means someone will impede on their laps. We see Jan Feller coming up right behind him. Down that back straight. Feller sitting in second. Will he go for another lap? Try to take first back. Hard on the brakes. Ignore the whirling gearbox of hell that is Feller's gear. Nope, he's just going to the pits. Alright, with Feller heading into the pits, that is qualifying. Says a huge congratulations to the Mercedes of Formula Danny as he takes pole. Followed by Feller, Alan T, Merrick, Garrix, Fulton, Surgen, Subidiot, Tolga, Monster, Ipany, Path, Assassin, Tosix, and Ava. If any penalties were issued during that, I will let y'all know in post. But huge congratulations to Formula Danny for taking another pole here in the Rapid Racers Esport League. Formula Danny wasn't with us last game. round as he was in London, taking up the F1 Esports Series championship with his teammate Brendan Lee, as they kind of dominated most of the rounds. But here are your finish positions. It's Formula Danny, Feller, Alan T, Merrick, Gearix, Fulton, Surgan, Some Idiot, Toga, Monster, Ipany, Path, Assassin, Tosix, and Ava, the German Armada, finishing up at the rear. That gap from first to second, 0.7 seconds. Entire first through fourth, all within a second of each other. Gearix just outside that gap. So the Mercedes dominance of a 1-2. Will that happen again? I am not sure. But we're heading into race day. I hope you guys are ready. As Path has left the session. Congrats, Path. Looks like the Williams of Path already having issues, as the qualifying session that was wet and wild has turned into a dry and sunny day. Not a cloud in the sky from what I can see in this pit view, in this pit lane. So it's going to be a fairly dry, may have some rain pop in, maybe, hopefully, spice things up. Maybe. We never know. But it's going to be a very different strategies. We're going to see tire strategies of all different sorts. Are they going to start on the very soft comp? Are they going to start on the very hard comp? Or are they going to start in the middle? Is it going to be a one lap or two? It's going to be a one stop or a two stop, because tire wear is an issue on this track as well. So we are going to see that as we are all waiting for everyone to hop on. At this point, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who is in our Twitch chat right now. Thank you for supporting us during Season 3 and our first run on the Rapid Racers Twitch page, as we are heading on to the formation lap here in China, as Gearix is a slow start and a cloud of smoke. Almost just covering up Surgan's front screen. But let's go in to the strategies and show everyone who is on what. Formula Danny is starting on the soft tires, followed by Feller on the medium tires, with Alan T starting on the soft tires and Merrick on the medium tires. Everyone else is on softs except for Monster, who is sitting down in 10th place. These three drivers are on the different strategies, but all of them looking to make a jump, especially Merrick and Feller. Feller wanting to wear down Danny's tires as fast as possible. He might try to get the jump on him off the line and just try to hold that front spot as long as he can. I don't think he can try to pull away from Danny, because Danny's just known for just aggressive moves, but all of them weaving across this really warm track. I can see as we got some heat reflections in the very background. So you take a look at that rake that Feller's got on his car, adding some extra downforce. They're all coming down the very back straight on this formation lap, all of them weaving, darting across the lines. Green flags flying in the air for everybody. So I would like to take this moment for everyone in chat to post, who do you think is going to win this race? Type the username, and if they do win, you get a cookie or something. Or you get, actually, you know what? You'll get 100 rapid points if you guess right. So we're all coming across the line right now, ready to get on going here in China. Danny lines up the grid, followed by Feller and Alan T, with Merrick up behind, followed by Gearix and Fulton, with Surgan and Some Idiot the row behind them. We got a little bit of ghosting going on with them. It's all good. Everyone's darting to their respected pit grid. Green flags fly in the background as we are ready to go. And they're off and away for round 3 here in China, as Gearix uses great start, that Ferrari of Fulton diving to the complete other side of the grid as Pat did not get the best start. 3 places down already, but Jan Feller and Alan T are all racing it out right now. But Formula Danny holding out a lead. Keep it clean, boys. But look at those medium tire guys running up the fight. But look at Alan T diving down the inside of Jan Feller. But no, it's going to be a side-by-side fight for third. Alan T late on the brakes. Also look at Fulton, but look at Gierix carrying the cross of Merrick's front wing. No damage to see, but Alan T and Feller are still battling it out for a second. But Alan T slides out in front of Feller as Gierix trying to get around of the McLaren, but Alan T sitting in second right now. Let's go on board with Gierix as they're coming across the double left-hander onto the side straight going into the carousel. No late moves, but look at that Haas in the background of Sergen making a few moves as he's dropped 4 places. Disastrous start for Sergen, but look at that lead that Formula Danny's already had. 1.6 seconds off. As we got cars spinning. Oh my goodness, that is Sergen in the wall as he is out of the session. What a disastrous first few laps for Sergen as Gierix is making a move down the inside. Wow. What just happened in the background of that Haas as Formula Danny comes across the line, leading the field away. Those medium tires not helping out as we see Fulton looking for a move on Jan Feller. Fulton around the carousel of turn 1. They're side by side, but look at that. It's Fulton all the way as he gets P4. So if you start on the medium tires, you've fallen all the places. Feller has dropped down, as well as Merrick. Some idiot hopped up a place, sitting in 7th as he's chasing down the Red Bull of Merrick. So our timing screen is getting a little bit messed up right now. Let's go on board with Gierix as he's trying to chase down P3. Yeah, the timing screen is just now updating, but it's showing this constant up and downs with people right now as they're all weaving around trying to find track positions. The Alfa Romeos are having a fight with each other. So he's on board with Monster right now as he's taking the draft with his team, as we see where Sergen has crashed as Path has not come out of his pit box since he has DC'd. Tough for Path as out of nowhere, Ava, the German Armada, taking no prisoners, comes around the outside, almost surprising us. Monster right there as he joins this fight for P10 and points. So let's go up to P3 with Gierix and Alan T as they're trying to have a battle for podium positions. Let's go on board with Ipany and some idiot. They're having a little bit of scrap for P7. Ipany getting really close into turn 1. The battles are all over this track in these opening laps, but I can tell you where a battle is not. It's up at front with Formula Danny 2.299 seconds ahead of everyone else. What a crazy race we are having right now. So we have an issue. There it is. Oh god. I'm sorry. We had a little bit of an issue with some branding as that did not show up. Sorry about that little technical difficulties and blip in the broadcasting. As we look at the Haas of Tolga as he's heading on Monster. He dived down the inside, looked for a move. So he's heading into the back, very late on the brakes. Big lockup as he gains tons of ground. As he gets really loose off the exit of that hairpin. As we're 4 laps in to this wild start already. As Sergen can tell you, we might have to talk with him after that. Sergen dealing a little bit of a thumb injury And I don't think you can blame that on his thumbs. That was just luck of the draw right there with him going into the wall on the opening lap. As Garrett's chasing down Alan T. Going into turn 4. Hard on the gas, trying to chase down that Ferrari sitting in second. So let's go on board with Toga sitting in 11th, chasing down Monster as he's trying to break the points barrier. Monster on those medium tires does not have the grip advantage. Toga locking up the brakes just a little bit. You don't want that, but he is gaining time on Monster. Will moves be made in the DRS straight? We will let you know, because he is getting front wing to gearbox under half a second. Almost just sitting in that draft, going really wide around that carousel. So he dives down right behind of Monster. Opens up DRS. Where does Toga go? Toga dives down. Oh, sold him a dummy. Thought about it, but now he goes down the inside. Monster went wide, but Toga does not have enough to answer him as Toga stays behind in P11 for another lap. Remember, Monster is on those medium tires. Let's actually go for the tires, but let's just shout out Assassin right now, who's sitting up at P9. That's 4 places up. He's the biggest mover of the start. What a great start from Assassin in Alfa Romeo, as Toga and Monster are still battling out. But someone who's battling out right now is Gierek. Oh my goodness, I just shot to that, and I was not expecting that close of a battle between. It's a Ferrari sandwich with a little bit of cream filling, but that is a silver lining, as you can say, as it's a Mercedes in between them, and he's chasing down Alan T. You see Feller in the background trying to chase these two down, but big lockup from Gierek as he's trying to get even close to Alan T as they're heading into Sector 3 around the carousel, sitting into the draft. It's going to be a drag race as they're coming onto the back straight. Alan will not have DRS. Gierek will, and so does his teammate of Foten. So we're on board with Gierek now. Opens up DRS. He's just closing in miles by miles. Will there be a move? Or will he just be sit behind him? Yes, he is sitting behind them. Remember, strategy is a thing in Formula 1. Formula Danny stays out. Around this time, you should start seeing people pit on these soft tires. You see just lines of cars coming around track. Ipany and some idiot battling for their side-by-side going to turn 1. Ipany on the inside. Some idiot being forced wide, but will there be a switchback move? Ipany getting a little bit loose in the transition. Summoning a little bit of lock, but no, Ipany. Clean overtake on the front straight and holds it for P7. Now we're going up again to the battle for second between the Mercedes of Gierek and Alan T in the Ferrari. But remember, Foten is also in on this battle. We're going to go to the tire strategies. The top medium tires is Feller up in 5th. And Merrick in 6th. These two are the ones who may be a little wrench in the cogs of Formula Danny and all these guys in these soft tires who are battling out right now. Because they got clean air up in front and behind them. Unless you're Merrick, he's got a battling Renault right behind him, so he might have something to look about. But Gierek, Alan T, and Foten, they're all in this fight. Lap 6 is a critical lap. This is where strategy can make or break you, as they're on these soft tires. But they are on the super soft tires. Those wear super quick, so they're all looking for a risky one stop, as the medium tire guys are going to go for a safe one stop if they're going onto the soft tires after this. They're going onto the super soft tires. That's something to be concerned about. Will be a very quick line up for them. if they're going to be going this long. So Allen's pulling out a little bit of a gap to Gearx as they're battling through Sector 2. Allen getting a little bit wide, but Gearx getting a little bit loose. But look at Fulton. He's staying on point and might actually get very even closer. As yes, he does. Gearx has the lockup heading into that crucial left-handed turn for that transition around the carousel. Gearx on the gas in the slipstream. Let's go on board with Fulton and his side of this. Will any of them go for a move on the straight? Fulton drifted a little bit towards the inside, but no do for that Ferrari driver. But Feller has joined the fight. It's a four-way fight for second as everybody is getting ready to battle. Oh, Fulton! I don't know if he lost control of his car, had to do a little bit correct to steer, but he just went lightning right and just kept on going straight, to be honest. And I don't know what he was thinking. No penalty from what I could tell, but that is a very odd move from the Ferrari driver sitting in fourth. As Gearx, Alty, and Fulton, and Feller are all battling as Merrick and Ipany having a little bit of scrap. Ipany looked for a move around the outside in turn 1 as we missed that on the straight, but Merrick fought back on those medium tires. Sitting in 6th place, Ipany has a grip, so does some idiot as he joins that fight. We got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. It's Tosix as he spun it all right out, right off the grand carousel of turns 1 and 2. What a disastrous thing for Tosix right now. Did he get in contact with Ava? I don't think so. Ava still has a lot of bits and pieces of his front wing. That is a very interesting story. Let's go on board with Fulton. Gearx died down the inside to defend. Fulton goes around the outside, longer from Gearx. They're almost wheel to wheel touching. Fulton goes around for his switchback. No can do. Just be lucky that Feller did not get it as Ipany gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for exceeding track limits. He will serve that in his pit stop because he can't do a start-finish race in Formula 1. What you thinking? As Alan T getting a little bit away from this pack. As Fulton diving down the inside, looking for a move on Gearx. Oh, getting really close. Almost tapped wings with the back wheel. But on board with Fulton once again. Going into crucial turn 3. Well, turn 4 technically. It's hard on the brakes. Gearx dives down to the inside. No can do for Fulton. He's just getting closer and closer. But also, who's getting closer and closer to Fulton? It's Feller. Fulton's got to keep both eyes in front and back of him in this sandwich of a fight. As Alan T, thankful that his teammate is there, applying pressure to Gearx as he is pulling away from the Mercedes in 2nd place. Around the grand carousel in turn 3. Fulton hard on the gas, sitting in the slipstream. Let's go on board with Feller. He's got a better camera angle anyway. So they're all on the back straight. DRS. Will anyone make a move? Let's look at Fulton. Well, that's not Fulton. Fulton got really close. Looked for a move, but didn't make it count. Sort of a dummy, but dummies are just go so far. As much as Fee gets a 3-second time up for crossing over that line. Strict corner cutting rules are on. Strict corner cutting rules are on, so Fulton did not need that. So he got close once again to Gearx, but he's fallen off just a bit as he had to do a little bit of recollection of himself as he tries for another move on Gearx. Fulton and Gearx still battling it out for P3. Alan T pulling away from this. Feller, he's just gonna sit back, relax, and watch this fight happen. He's got medium tires. He's got He's got a long stint ahead of him as our first pit stop goes to Assassin, who is sitting on those medium tires going for that one-stop strategy, that safe one-stop strategy. As Garrick's actually closing the gap to Alan T. He's leaving Fulton in the dust. Garrick's put on the power just randomly. Actually, as he gets hard on the gas, creating a little bit of gap between him and Fulton, but Fulton's got to fight with Feller now. As Garrick's getting tons of space. He's going down the inside. This is the position overtake for P2. Garrick's down the inside. Alan T has to go around the outside. Alan T successfully defended that attack on that hairpin. With 10 laps under these tires, everyone's thinking, okay, when do I pit for the mediums? We've already seen one pit for the mediums, so that was Assassin, but he had a little bit of an incident. But everyone's going 10 laps on these mediums and softs. Garrick's looking for a move on Alan T. Now he's putting the pressure down. Look at Fulton getting very hyped and getting close to Garrick's right now, but Fulton and Alan T, both, all of them, putting pressure down on everyone else. The pace has gone right up here, from second through fifth, actually. As is this now the time to pit, as Toxic has limped his car all the way into the pits. Usually when you see cars start attacking, that means they're going to pit this lap, so we're going to start seeing this soft tire guys start going into the pits. But Feller is just charging up his pace right now. Maybe he was just in lean and just sitting back there. I've seen some strategists do this before. Let's go onboard Garrick's as Alan T has pulled out a gap to Garrick's once again. As we take a look behind at Fulton. All four of these cars, Fulton going down the inside. Sullivan Dudley, Feller goes down the inside. Oh, second guess that a little bit too late. That's a little bit of correction. As Formula Day continues on. Oh, Fulton. Oh, Alan T and Garrick's both heading to the pits. Garrick's, woo, locked up his brakes, heading to the pit. It's gonna be a fight in the pit lane. As Garrick's in the pit lane, followed by Alan T in the pit lane. It's Garrick's. He's actually held up, but no, it's Alan T coming out ahead of him. As Formula Danny taking his lead to the next level. As he's sitting up in first by 7 seconds. But Feller and Fulton are having a battle for second right now. As Alan T and Garrick's pit for the medium tires. We should start seeing Fulton and Formula Danny go into the pits right now. Feller's going to inherit this lead if everything goes to plan. And then it's all pace, push for Feller for the remainder of this race until lap 18, where he needs to pit for soft tires. Feller backing off from Fulton right now. He's knowing everyone's gone into the pits, so he's just a little bit of cruising right now, right behind of Fulton. Goes hard on the brakes, lock up. That's not helping your tire wear, buddy. As this is a game of strategy. As Formula Danny goes into the pits, Fulton dives into the pits, and Feller inherits the lead here on lap 14. Well, 13, actually. On lap 13 here in China in round 3 of the Rapid Racers League, as Merrick inherits second place. But where does that put Monster and Formula Danny? They're coming out of the pits right now. Monster comes across the outside of Formula Danny, who is on those fresh medium tires. As the pits are all going white. They went from yellow to white. Everyone's on those medium tires. We got 3 laps on some mediums, 12 laps on the others. We got a yellow flag. Oh my goodness, it's Fulton. What has happened to Fulton? Oh no, that's hit. That's floating in the wall. That's a lot of carbon fiber. This Girex and Alan T having a little bit of a scrap as well. What has happened to Fulton? Fulton. Oh no, what a tough race for Fulton once again as he's crashed out where Tollsticks had a little bit of an incident in turn 1. On the exit of turn 2, it looks like Fulton just got a little bit of out. Does anyone have damage on them? You see Formula Danny and Monster have a little fight. Formula Danny late braking, my god! As he gets the overtake. No, they're side by side coming out of the hairpin. Formula Danny braking later than a late penalty as he pushes Monster out of the track and he takes P3. Well, aggressive move by Formula Danny, but Monster may have a chance to retaliate. But remember, Formula Danny's got the fresher tires. He's got the better grip, even if they're on the same tire. That's 11 laps. That's 12 laps fresher of a tire for Formula Danny than on Monster. So Formula Danny does have the grip advantage, so that kind of explains it. As Assassin has left the session. Where? Assassin was on his out lap. What is going on? It says Assassin's qualifying. Okay, we're having a little bit of weird issues here. But all weird issues aside, we can say that this is a very intense race. Formula Danny closing down on Feller, who's just cruising up there in the lead. But let's not take the story at hand of the fights currently. It's between Girex and Alan T. Sitting 6th and 5th. We got yellow flag at Sector 2. This Assassin has come back from the dead, has recontrolled his ghost car, as the Alfa Romeo guys can stop wishing for an exorcist to get out of their garage. So this is on an outlap, so that's kind of weird. But the battle is still got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Ipany, Assassin. Where was this incident from? I don't know, maybe someone just got a little bit loose. Let's go on board. Well, that's not who I wanted. Let's go on board with Girex as he's chasing down Alan T for P4. In lap 15, we have had our first soft tire medium stop pit stops for Monster. Started on those medium tires. It's gone onto the softs right now. Now Feller, he has to be 20 seconds ahead of Formula Danny if he wants to keep that lead. He will have the grip advantage for the later laps, but he's got a few more laps to go on these medium tires to eke out an edge of third as the battle for fourth between Girex and Alan T is still going on. Oh, whoa, Girex taking a little bit of safari grand tour of China. Ho Chi Minh City can't wait, buddy. As he shot off to the left on those curbs. I can tell those curbs are dangerous. And any corrections made on them will completely ruin him as he's fallen an entire second behind of Alan T. That's disastrous for his tire wear and his pace. As he is now sitting behind of Alan T in 4th place. But very disastrous mistake by Girex as he now has to climb up that 1.2 second gap to 4th of Alan. Remember, a second is like an eternity here in Formula 1. And everyone's looking at Formula Danny, turn leader on the freshest tires. Net leader, you can say, as Feller and Merrick are still going ham on these medium tires, just extending them and going for that 18 mark lap to go on to onto the softs. Let's go back to Tolga. What has happened to Tolga? I believe he took a little bit of a... He had a little bit of an incident where he spun around the track. A little bit of a spin. Didn't really crash or anything. But he had to go to the pits early. And I believe this is his second stop. No, it is his first stop. So he just didn't have the best of starts. As Assassin still says, he is on an outlap. Kind of weird. But Formula Danny is still pushing up. Tolga, not like his teammate, but Tolga did have a little bit of an incident. So he says Merrick gets a 5-second stop-go penalty as they're going to the pits. Feller and Merrick hop to the pits a little bit early. Lap 17 out of 28 as Formula Danny inherits the lead. So let's go on board with Feller. Where does that put Feller? It puts him into P4 right behind the fight of Garrix and Alanteef. He is on the soft tires. He must make up. A little quick math right here. 11 seconds to Formula Danny and go through 2 cars of the fighting Alan T and Garrix. This is a battle for podiums, points, and pride here in China. Go on board Garrix as Feller is making his way 2 seconds behind him, so they are definitely pushing right now. But Garrix closing in on Alanteef as Sergen has left the session after his opening lap disaster of collision with the wall. Speaking of disasters with the wall, Garrix almost had a close decision in this turn. He's got to be careful of those curbs that he's riding on right now. You definitely do not want a safari journey. As they're heavy on the brakes. Wait, I'm on Feller. As Garrix closing in on Alanteef once again. Garrix going down the inside. No can do. He's in that slipstream. Now shoots down the inside. They're side by side. Alanteef and Garrix side by side. But no, Garrix slips past Alanteef for P2 in turn 1. Can Alanteef make any answer? No can do. But remember, Feller is right behind him. Let's go down to Feller. As this has turned into a 3-way fight for P2. We've been seeing this already before, earlier on in this race. Feller closing in on Alanteef. 0.3 seconds right now. As Garrix, Alanteef, and Feller getting extremely close on those fresh soft tires. He has the pace of gods, the grip of gods, and he can go all the way, but no, he decides to go mow the lawn here in China, and he's lost that advantage he had on Alanteef. Just got caught up in that dirty air, and that went away of his downforce. As Alanteef and Alanteef around the outside. Garrix locks up the brakes, but Alanteef around the outside. They're side by side coming around the hairpin, but no, it's going to be Alanteef taking second. But remember, Garrix, he's got DRS now. It's his turn to make a move into turn 1. Did Alanteef attack too early? Garrix, no moves right now. Immediately to turn 1 as Merrick sets a new fastest lap of 1:33.323. Merrick. Garrix got his nose in there, but Alanteef defended wonderfully. Garrix going for the switchback, but no, Alanteef defensive once again for P2. Going into the hairpin, this fight is heating up. This is awesome. As Garrix and Alanteef still fighting around, trying to get any sort of advantage that they can. But no, look at Feller. He's closing in on Garrix. Feller going around the inside of Garrix. No moves there, but Feller has regained his position. This might be a 3-way drag race going into the carousel. and the back straight, but Feller going down the inside there side by side in the carousel. Feller sneaking it past of Gierix, and he gets the overtake as Gierix slots in that slipstream position. It's a drag race as Feller just drafting the heck out of Gierix drafting the heck out of Feller as he overshoots his braking point and shoots off across the track as Feller keeps P3. And now next target is Alan T. Gierix, another mistake for him as Feller shoots around the outside and he gets the overtake of Alan T in P2. Formula Danny is next, and that is the lead with 8 laps to go and 11 seconds up the road. It's now about pace for ACR. Jan Feller in the McLaren. Can he put up a fight to Formula Danny in the lead on those fresh soft tires that he just locked up on? 11.4 seconds for the McLaren driver as he shoots away pass from Alan T and Gierix. We're going to keep on this battle for a second. We got a yellow flag in sector 3. Is that toe 6? It is toe 6. He's spun out of the hairpin. What has happened to toe 6? I don't see any damage on the front wing. He didn't go into the pits. Was Tolga to blame in any of that? No damage I can see from Tolga, but that was a very interesting issue to see that Toro Rosso spun around in that position as we're on board with Gierix trying to go for P3. This is the battle for the last podium spot. Alan T going down the inside. Gierix around the outside. Alan T defending, but Gierix, he hits him. Gierix pushes his front wing and they hit. Gierix, no damage suffered. They're going side by side. Alan T go for the switchback into turn 1. But Feller, new fast lap 133.206. As Feller, Gierix overtakes Alan T cleanly for P3 and that final podium spot. Alan T just sitting down there in P4. No moves being made by him on those 9-lap old medium tires, as that lead to Formula Danny has just dropped under the 11-second mark, and it's sitting at 10.976 seconds for Feller. He is making progress, but will that progress pay off? That was around a second a lap, and you're doing a second a lap, but there are not 10 laps left in this race. You have to push if you want to get Danny, as the battle for third rages on between Alan T and Gierix in the final stages of this Chinese Grand Prix. Coming down the back straight, Alan T is going to have the DRS advantage on Gierix. Alan T closing the gap. Will there be a move? He's wanted to sell the move, but Gierix isn't buying any of it as he just closes the gap to 0.3 seconds. Will he have a move on the front straight? He is getting close as Tolga has retired from the session. What has happened to Tolga, or was that just a disconnection? Let's go back to your pre-release, our scheduled program of Alan versus Gierix, the Wonder Kids, on lap 22 here in China. Alan trying to close that gap onto Gierix, just sitting half a second behind on these 10-lap old medium tires. They're having a little bit of graphical issues that's showing up as softs as they are right now, but they're medium tires. 0.3 seconds. Alan has the advantage in the corners. He's been much smoother, but Gierix has just got the raw pace to push away from Alan. As Alan is closing in on Gierix right now. Half a second behind. He's probably just going to sit there and wait for the last move. Just keep Gierix on edge. But look behind. Who is that on the softs? It's Merrick. Merrick in that Red Bull may be a wrench and may go for that final podium spot. You see him back there just lurking at his prey. deciding when would be the right time to go as Alan T dives down the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle their seatbelts. Alan T makes a move, but Gearx holds him off. It's a drag race going into the final turn, but no, it's going to be Alan. It's going to be Alan getting the overtake. But Gearx has the DRS, and it's going to be side by side going into turn 1. Alan taking up the inside line. Gearx going to try to go around the outside. How about that? But it's going to be Alan holding him off. Gets a little bit loose. They might have touched right there. Gearx slid into the back of Alan. He's trying to find moves around him as Merrick closed up that gap to half a second behind. So we might have a three-way battle for third very soon with with Merrick in that Red Bull on the soft tires in that strategic advantage. He might just take it a little bit easier. Watch as Alan pulled up the pace. Has gained a lot of ground on Gearx. As Merrick closing ground on Gearx. Merrick locking up a little bit right there, but he is currently closest. This will be a drag race between these two. Alan T is taking this battle to his advantage and start pulling away from Gearx, who's more focused on the Red Bull behind him. Gearx opens up DRS as well as Merrick. Merrick and Gearx having a little scrap for P4. Merrick going down the inside, and yes, he does get it. Can Gearx respond? But no, it's going to be Merrick holding him off, and yes, he holds him off. Both of them have DRS once again, but Merrick now in P4, chasing down Alan with 4 laps to go here in China. Alan 1 second ahead of Merrick in P4. Gearx just barely behind of the higher gripped Red Bull of Merrick. On board with Merrick now as he's closing down closer and closer to Alan T. We see Gearx dropping back 0.6 seconds behind of Merrick. Might just take this easy, might just go on to the tire wear management system as Merrick is thrashing around the track, trying to close as much time as he can to Alan T for that final podium position with 4 laps to go. What a battle this we are shaping up to have in the final bits of the race. Merrick hard on the pedal, opens up DRS, sitting in the slipstream of Alan T. Oh, late on the brakes. Slow down, buddy. Getting really close to the Ferrari. As Merrick and Alan T sitting 0.3 seconds behind. Whoa. What this freaking... Well, looks like the Toga curse of the aliens has affected the actual Red Bull garage as Merrick teleport overtakes Alan T for P3. Es podcast en español. I'm not doing that joke again. But Merrick takes P3 and, like a snap, you might say, as he gets P3 on these soft tires, and now his turn is to pull away from Alan T. As Gearx and Alan T resumed their scheduled battle for P4. But we're on board Merrick as his now next target is Feller, who is 8 seconds up the road. Who Feller is still trying to chase down Danny, who's actually losing time to Formula Danny, who's just cruising down the back straight, driving like a boss. It's just honestly pretty relaxed at this point. 2 laps to go. He's pretty relaxed, you might say. Yeah, he's... FPS drop. I have the same problem. Yeah, the FPS would sometimes drop with this game. It's not the best optimized, but you know, there's a lot of squealing tires happening as we're spectating Formula Daniums. We're going to go on to Alan T as he's trying to close in on Merrick. Alan T and Merrick closing in on each other. No. Alan T trying to close in on Merrick. Merrick on those soft tires, but they're starting to get worn. The tire advantage that they had has passed their prime, and now it's time for the mediums attack, and Alan T is in prime position to go on a lunge right now. These soft tires only last around 11 and 12 laps. You can see that pace dropped off for Feller and Merrick on them. As we see Alan T closing in. As we have a message from Tolga. There's something super wrong with Steam today. First Assassin lost connection even though he's the host, and now I did. Bleep. Tolga very frustrated with this issue right here. Well, hopefully that is a story that does not continue as Alan T and Merrick are continuing their battle. Alan T opens up the draft, leaving around the backside of Merrick. As we should take a look at the soft tires comp as we see Tolga's ghost car. Hi, Tolga. In the background. We had a little bit of big lag spike. With 2 laps to go. Lap 27 and 28. Well, 1 lap to go on. Well, yeah, 2 laps to go. Lap 27 out of 28. Formula Danny leads by 11 seconds, followed by Merrick. Alan T closing in just behind with the battle for third. Heating up once again. It never cooled down. There is no fire extinguisher to put out this battle. As Merrick trying everything in his power to keep Alan T at bay. Will his tires hold? Will Alan T have the pace in those mediums to keep up? Those soft tires are nearing the end of their lifespan. Oh my goodness. Assassin is on the Ultra Softs. I'm going to be honest, I never actually knew you could get the Ultra Softs right now. That was the other tire. But Alan T making a move around the outside of Merrick. They're side by side in the hairpin. Alan T carries that move around the outside, and it's going to be Alan T. But Merrick is close behind. They're drafting into the final lap. As you see Garrix in the background. Merrick going around the outside. How about that? And in turn 1, does he have the grip on those soft tires to make it? Does Alan T have the grip on those worn medium tires to hold it? Yes, he does. Merrick sliding behind Alan T. May just try to keep enough pace right behind him to be slotted in that draft for the back straights. As these two are battling for P3, Merrick still holding it, and he's closing in on Alan T. I don't want to look away. Where's Formula Danny? He's coming in through. Okay, that's where he is. This is a little bit of sighting for Formula Danny. He's got around 20 seconds before we will switch over to him crossing the finish line. No, 40 seconds. So we crossing the finish line as Merrick and Alan T are now crossing the carousel. Will there be a move going around, going down into the hairpin? As I don't want to look away. But coming across the line, it's Formula Danny taking his win as they return to Rapid Race. Okay, enough of that. Let's go back to this fight. As they just came out of the hairpin, Alan T is looking like he's going to lead off Merrick. And yes, he does. It's going to be Alan T taking third and a podium position. As it's going to be Formula Danny, Feller, Alan T up there on the podium. Followed by Merrick Garrix. and Ipany. Ipany coming across the line, followed by Monster and some idiot in 8th. Assassin just now coming to, well, it's actually 29 seconds behind, but I believe he is going for that fastest lap bonus. But huge congratulations to Formula Danny and Feller. Two different strategies as they're giving a little bit of a bump draft, you might say, as they're coming across the very final finish line. Assassin gets the fastest lap of a 131 on those Ultra Softs. Nice lap, Assassin. Nice lap. You fought for something, and you got points. But congratulations to Formula Danny for another win. Followed by Feller, Alan T, Merrick, Garrix, Ipany, Monster, Submitted, Assassin, and Ava all getting points today. Oh, there might have actually been a few penalties delivered out there as Formula Danny takes the win. So we're going to go down to the podium for celebrations. There you see him lifting up a fist in victory. 2 fists, actually. So he lifts the trophy up, points to the crowd, be like, guys, look, I won another race. As he takes lead of the championship. Once again, Formula Danny stands on top of his sprays champagne on his old buddy of Alan T. They all bang their last together. They wave goodbye. Huge congratulations to all 3 of them. They worked hard for that. We're sitting here in China as here are the final I can't experience. We're just talking. Here are the final results. It's Formula Danny, Feller, Alan T, Merrick, Girex, Ipany, Monster, Some Idiot, Assassin, Ava, Tosix, Toga, Photon, Sergey, and Path, who did not start. Huge congratulations. Let's go into the driver's room. Driver's parade, as some might say. And talk with everyone. I'm muted. Great for me. Let's slide this over on to here as we join in.
Connection to Steam for some reason out of nowhere.
Hello.
I swore you didn't leave the session, Weiss, and I saw Assassin leave and I sent him an invite back.
I sent him an invite back as well.
Alright, as we're having a little bit of discussions from the drivers about that, let's go P2. Feller, how is that race for you as we're waiting on Danny to get in here?
It was pretty much just trying to survive in the end because I had quite a lot of technical issues during the race. I had some lag spikes until I stopped recording at lap 20-ish somewhere, and I had my wheel problem, which is a very old one, which I hope to be solved next week when I send it away, where the force feedback just shuts down itself for a couple of seconds, or some tenths of a second, and then it comes back again, and it's some kind of a loose contact or whatever. So I could have lost the car at any moment in the final stint there. So I was just trying to survive and stay on track there. But it worked, and it was P2 in the end. I mean, what can I say? It's great.
Yes, it does sound super great for that. You looked great out there, and especially with that strategy on the soft tires, you look like you're going close in. But Formula Danny just had the pace on the medium tires. Speaking of Formula Danny, once again, leading from start to finish. Great qualifying, great finish, great form throughout. Not really anything negative I can say about it. Formula Danny, how was that race?
Oh, it's nice to see the excitement in your voice. Hello, guys. It must have been an amazing commentary as well. Yeah, basically the race looked like how you described it, without any threat. It was a pole to victory. To be honest, I was very happy about the rainy qualifying session because by a reflex, I chose 4 ultra soft tires for my qualifying session, although I would have wanted to start with the soft tires. So when the rain came down, I was very happy because it was an esports reflex for me, because there the 25% race doesn't matter. But here I really wanted to start on soft, so the rain was in my favor, and I could do my one soft strategy like that, because with the ultra soft mediums I usually suffered in the past. But all in all, I think it was a great drive for me. I tried to set the fastest lap time in the penultimate lap, and it was the fastest lap time, but the last time Assassin, I guess, beat it, so I'm quite frustrated about that guy around.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is it.
why you had a very easy race and no threat. Somebody who was under threat from start to finish, I believe, just been constantly in action, is Alan T, finishing in third. Alan, bring us through that race and the battles you've had between Merrick, Feller, Girex, some other people.
Well, I think the rain helped me a little bit, because I thought that my qualifying pace wouldn't be as good in dry as in wet. And P3 started, and I got past Feller at the start because I had softer compound, and after that it was like defending position and fight for position for 27 laps, which was quite nice. I enjoyed that race a lot. I think that's probably best race I have had so far.
It looks like a very great, fun race for you, as you get another podium. Sorry, I'm just getting a little bit caught up right now. But congratulations to you. Let's go to P4 of Merrick. He came in on those soft tires, flew past Alan and Girex, and then I guess the soft tires just lost their grip and you lost it on the last lap. So, Merrick, how was that race for you?
Actually, I'm fifth now because of my 5-second stop and go penalty.
Girex, how's
but-
P4?
Really?
Apparently.
Okay then.
That's a reaction.
I'm a bit disappointed. I was hoping for a better pace, but I had a terrible qualification and an even worse race, because on lap 20 I tried to make the switchback on Alan, but I turned in too early and I damaged my wing.
Yeah, the wing damage really hurt you right there. So hopefully the next race after this week break that we have, because Coda will be going on during this time, and we all kind of want to watch that live. Well, I'll be there during the race, and so yeah, that explains the break. But you know,
Are you saying the real race is more important than us, Faisy?
yes,
Of course.
Shame on you.
Okay.
no shame on you. Merrick, how was your
Can we
race?
please-
I didn't really feel confident from the start because I don't know. If it's just my setup didn't work or I wasn't on my top, but I just didn't have the pace to be to stay with Failure. He had a really fantastic pace on the mediums and on the softs as well. And then when I've gone into the pits, I was exactly on 80 kph and still got a stop and go penalties, and I didn't record sadly, so yeah, that's a bit disappointing. And at the end, when I was fighting with Ellen, I really struggled with ERS, and that's how it's gone for me.
All right. Hopefully the next race after the break will give you some time to refresh yourself. Let's go to Ipany, sitting in 6th place. Ipany, how was your race for you?
No, hello. I thought I was having a good pace, but I couldn't get through Marek at the first stint. It was about 3 or 4 laps. I tried to pass him, but I couldn't. And then my tires went off, and I had to go to the pits. And also in the first stint, I got the drive-through penalty because I was avoiding Marek when he didn't leave me any room at the hairpin, and so that's why I dropped behind Some idiot, I think.
You didn't on my screen. You're still P6.
No, I mean after the pit stop.
Oh. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the results.
Yeah, and I don't know. Could be better.
Yeah, it could have been better from what I've heard. Let's go to... I'm just going down the order. Monster, how was your race?
Yeah, okay. No pace, no rhythm. The weather in the qualifying kind of fucked my strategy because the top guys didn't have to save tires. So yeah, it was kind of a boring race. Had some exciting fighting with some idiot in the end. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, well, let's go to your teammate who does have something to brag about this race. He does have the fastest lap for the race. He got that on the final lap by pitting for Ultrasofts and still finished 9th. Assassin, how was your race despite the connection issue?
Yeah, I think I'd probably been robbed of about 6th place at best, I think. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know what the connection issue was. Internet was fine, but no pace. But I saw I had enough gap to Ava, so I decided to just pit and go for the fastest lap, just to annoy Danny.
I wish he was here so you could hear that. That is Adam. Okay, well, finishing 10th and rounding out the points is the German Armada of Ava. Nice to see you in the points, even if it's just a point. But congrats.
Yes! Yeah, thank you. Yeah, one mistake. Let's kill my race. My pace was bad and no practice for the China Grand Prix. But I'm happy. 1 point. Yes.
All right, you seem just like off one. Yes, 1 point. You seem off the wall because you started dead last actually, and you got 10th, so you got yourself through Warzone and you got a point. So, woo. So you just missed out, didn't really have the cleanest race. I kept seeing him spin around the hairpin a little bit. Had an issue in qualifying, and I think maybe had a crash during the race as well. Was Toastix? How was your race? Avoid any swearing if possible.
Yeah, I had a few mistakes where I spun, but I don't crash with the wall or something else. My car was still drivable. Yeah, but my race was not so good.
All right, well, hopefully it is better for you in the longer run, as I believe we have Toga next, but we kind of heard him and his complaining already about just DCing for the race and not being mad. So Toga, do you want to have anything to say?
Well, nah.
All right.
One time I decided to finish the race because I was catching up to Ava so fast. The game was like, nah, dude, you're not gonna finish this one as well.
All right, well, let's go to everyone's favorite driver, Summit It. How was your race?
Saving the best for last, of course. Qualifying went about as well as it was going to. Maybe could have got another 10th or 2 out of it. Race, I felt like I was fighting understeer, just horrible understeer the entire race. Felt like I was just turning into a wall of understeer, more or less. Drove about as good as they're going to. Got stuck behind Merrick a little bit, but he's driving his own race, but it's frustrating because you can, if you can clear him, you might be able to pull out a small gap, maybe stay with the guys in front. I don't think I was fast enough to get higher than like 6th today, but I still would have liked to see what I could have done. I don't think I would have stayed with anybody else higher than 5th, but I got stuck there. Pits, got a bit of an undercut. I'm not sure if Assassin got damage off of me because he caught me when I was trying to get the mediums to warm up, and it felt like I was just fighting extreme oversteer, trying to get the tires to warm up. And after that, Ipony got to me. There's not a whole lot I could do there. He's just a couple tenths faster today, and that happens. So Ipony got by. Then fighting Monster as hard as I could for P7. I did ask just before you got in here if you caught the final final couple corners of the final lap because I tried an extreme dive bomb into the hairpin to try to get 7th back because I couldn't get a run on anybody coming out of the reverse snail section because I was just fighting that extreme understeer. And I tried to back up my corner, try to do everything I could, but I couldn't quite get close enough to Monster in the hairpin, so I just had to throw it in there in the last on the last lap, but nothing doing. So P8's by the best is going to be able to get today, unfortunately. Back to the drawing board with the setup.
Well, it is points for you, and I'd say good race. Points are points. Points are good. People like points. Okay, points.
Would like more.
Yeah, you can always get more. Everyone wants more. So anything y'all want to say before we head into a break and get ready for the next race? I kind of forgot where it is.
Baku.
Get ready for Azerbaijan! Any last words?
We promise exactly 2 safety cars for race event.
No, make that 3. I'll make up for it.
Great, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you guys are all excited for that because I certainly am. And from all of us to you, we will see you in a week's time.
In 2 weeks time.
2 weeks.
2 weeks time.